Hi guys, I'm really disappointed with Sophy Ridge of Sky News. She had a perfect opportunity here to hold the Home Secretary Suella Braverman's feet to the fire over the problems caused by Brexit at the port of Dover, and she failed to do so. She mentioned briefly a statement made by the CEO of the port, who clearly explained that post-Brexit checks are causing the delays. Braverman gave some half-arsed excuse, and then Ridge simply moved on. This is weak journalism, unfortunately. Have a listen.
Quickly. You talk about the increase in people trying to make the journey, but of course it's a busy time of year. The CEO of Dover Port has said the difference of living in a post-Brexit environment means that every passport needs to be checked. Do we need to, after Brexit, just get used to this happening at busy periods?
No, I don't think that's fair to say this has been, an adverse effect of Brexit. I think we've had many years now still in the European Union, and there's been, on the whole, very good operations and processes.
So he's wrong,
at
then, you think, the
CEO border. But what I would say is at acute times when there's a lot of pressure crossing the channel, whether that's on the tunnel or on ferries, then I think that there's always going to be a backup. And I just urge everybody to be a bit patient while the ferry companies work their way through the backlog.
Okay. And then we just move on to the next topic. There was an opportunity there to explain to her, and she actually raised the point that the CEO of the Port of Dover said, and I'll get to this video in a clip in a moment, that it is down to passport checks. And Suella Braverman's blaming the ferry companies here, or the ferry companies will get through the backlog. But the problem is not the ferry companies, the problem is the passport checks, as a result of ending a freedom of movement. And she said people just need to be patient. There are buses, coaches, full of children that had to wait up to 12 hours. Can you imagine? My heart goes out to these teachers who are taking students to the continent, having to wait on a bus, a coach, for 12 hours. The first few hours, pretty difficult. And then you don't even know how long you're going to have to wait. But nothing to do with Brexit, of course. Well, what did the CEO of the Port of Dover have to say?
The difference of being in a post-Brexit environment means that every passport needs to be checked before a vehicle or a passenger can cross into the European Union through France, and that happens here in Dover. So it does make processing more challenging.
And is the difference to last year that perhaps more people are travelling sort of post-COVID?
We're definitely busier this year with our coaches than we were last year.
Border force.
And there you have it. Okay. When there's very little traffic, you're going to have very little delays. But if you have a surge, it's going to collapse the system. Now, the UK government was asked to invest in extra facilities at the Port of Dover, and they refused to do so. Like the French have said, we can send as many staff as you want, but the problem is these staff can only operate within the limited infrastructure that's there. Now, the Brexiteers are blaming the French. Suella Braverman here is offloading responsibility onto the ferry companies. But she will say, we don't talk about Brexit. And her saying, well, we didn't see these problems before. Yes, because if there's lower traffic volumes, you're going to have fewer delays. But as soon as there's a surge, like a holiday period, you're going to have more problems. Now, this is actually going to get worse because new checks are coming in, perhaps at the end of this year or the beginning of next year, where it won't be just passports checked and stamped. You will have biometrics. People will have to check their fingerprints and a face scan. How long would that take? And I've used it myself at certain airports, and you've probably done it yourself. And sometimes the passport doesn't get read properly. You have to try it again, maybe on a number of occasions. The port, the gate isn't working correctly, so you have to go and try another gate. And, you can lose up to 5 to 10 minutes trying to get through the scanner. Multiply that by thousands. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.